What's a cool fact about the human body that a lot of people don't know? Your hands and feet alone account for more than half of all the bones in your body, 106/206. Gotta point out you're including the wrists and ankles in that count. Eye immune privilege. Your immune system doesn't know your eyes exist. There's a chance that if you get an eye injury or an infection near your eyes, the immune system will think your eyes are a foreign body and you'll go blind. Your heart rate increases about a minute before partaking in exercise. It is known as the anticipatory rise and happens involuntarily. You mostly breathe out of one nostril at a time, and the dominant nostril switches every hour or so. Some people will cough if they put something in one ear. A very small percentage will cough if something is in either ear. It is called Donald's ear cough reflex. Archaeologist here. You can give birth after you've died. Occasionally we will come across a really confronting burial where the skeleton of an unborn child is halfway through its mother's pelvis. Generally what happens is the woman has died before giving birth, and after burial a buildup of gases from decomposition forces the baby out. We refer to this as coffin birth. If you squeeze your left thumb, it suppresses your gag reflex just a little bit. Your liver can regenerate, and much faster than you think. I had a quarter of my liver removed, and a month later it was back. When we're in an unfamiliar environment we sleep with half our brain at a time, kinda like sharks, and that's why we wake up easier. Cutting the corpus callosum connects two brain hemispheres, can produce some freaky results. Such as your hand doing shit that your conscious mind isn't aware of, writing a sentence or scratching in it without knowing, for instance. We have an internal regulator that prevents us from using our full strength. Our muscles usually only work at about 60% max of what we are capable of. In extreme life and death situations these regulators stop and we are able to use our full strength. This is how the parts where people tipped over cars and similar come from. These regulators are because at full strength we heavily damage our bodies. Essentially, you could lift something to the point where it is either lifted or your arm just breaks instead. Women are actually programmed to forget the pain of childbirth after a few months or so. If this didn't happen, most women would only end up having one child, which would eventually lower the population. You know the smell of rain, or disturbed soil? It's a compound produced by bacteria called geosmin, and the human nose is extremely sensitive to it. We can smell it at as low a concentration as 5 parts per trillion. We can smell rain better than sharks can smell blood. I actually just learned about this. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. Only 7? Casuals, my body can make at least 15. When we get sunburn, that's not the heat of the sun that's hitting us most of the time, but it's little skin cells killing themselves to protect us from skin cancer. Not so cool if I think about it. After watching Cells at Work, this makes me panic a little. I'm so sorry, little cells. Natural redheads require increased doses of anesthesia, due to some connection with the mutated melanocortin-1 receptor. I'm a natural redhead myself, and developed a fear of dentists because I'd always feel what they were doing. Eventually I had an issue that couldn't be ignored, and had to find a new dentist. At my first visit he took one look at me, and said, "You're a real redhead, hurry up, hygienist, get me 4x the Novocaine." I knew I'd found my man, and he's been treating me ever since. Also shed my fears, since dental work is much less unpleasant when you're actually number 4 they start. The war that's constantly happening inside of you. Everyone knows about your immune system, but the sheer complexity of it is amazing. Like, your body has neutrophils, which are like the generic white blood cell that constantly goes around your blood vessels seeking out foreign objects. But did you know there are cells called macrophages which are like way better neutrophils in the fact that neutrophils mostly swallow bacteria to kill them? Macrophages do this too, except they can swallow close to 100. You have stuff like dendritic cells whose main goal is to be an early warning system. They swallow an invader, then carry a piece of it back to T cells to activate them. Once they're activated, T cells swarm that specific invader and kill anything that has that antigen. I didn't even name close to all of the cells that are doing constant battle inside of you 24/7, 365 days a year. So next time you have the flu or an infection, Think of the little guys inside you who gladly fight the good fight. Yep, cells at work taught me a lot of things. Most of our body never gets more than 20 years old. Our cells divide, in a process called mitosis, and then die. With the exception of your nervous system, the oldest organ in your body is the lungs, in terms of age of your cells. Your skin never gets more than a few weeks old. Your mouth never gets more than a few days old. Essentially, the reason we age is not because the cells are old, but they lose their ability to perform functions as effectively as they go through the, mostly genetically determined, aging process. Your cells are only designed to divide a set number of times, due to structures called telomeres. It's a little more complicated than this, but I'm not writing a textbook, nor am I qualified to do so. The reason for fevers is to make your body temperature rise to kill whatever virus your body is fighting. When your white blood cells have done their job, you sweat to cool off. Hence your fever breaking. Yep, and the shivering fits you get is to heat up your body faster. The small area between your eyebrows is your glabella. Apparently some peoples in Asia have a bunch of DNA from Denisovians, another hominid people coexisted and interbred with. Do I pronounce it jealousy or racism that I want varied DNA? You can smear my DNA all over your face if you want. Don't you threaten me with a good time.
You naughty, you teasing me?
A small percentage of people are super sleepers and are fully recharged after 2 to 4 hours of sleep each night. They get to burn the candle at both ends. You're taller in the morning than the rest of the day-night. During the day the cartilage in our knees and other areas slowly compress, but when you go to sleep and rest the cartilage goes back to normal. On average we are about 1 centimeter taller the morning than in the evening. Bold of you to assume I get up in the morning. The human head weighs about as much as a bowling ball. Don't bowling balls come in different weights? Yay, but humans come in different stupids, so I guess it all evens out in the end.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
Most headaches are caused by tight neck muscles, which can be caused by a tight lower back or upper hamstrings. Some stretching and good posture does wonders for the body. Nah, most headaches are caused by dehydration. A lot of people just don't drink enough water. Nah, most headaches are caused by having a head. There is a muscle, called palmaris longus, in the forearm missing in about 10% of the population. You can easy test if you have it by putting your pinky and thumb together, while holding your palm facing up, and flex the hand upwards. If one tendon is standing out more than the others, that's palmaris longus. And some people, like me, only have one eye. If you tear something in your arm, cannot for the life of me remember what it is, and you have the palmaris longus can, and often do, use that as the new tendon ligament. Cortisol, the stress hormone, only leaves your body through sweat or tears. Don't lose it and it stays in your body in fat cells instead. Oh, and tears from onions or pepper spray don't remove cortisol. It has to be emotional tears, not tears from irritants. Cortisol leaves your body through sweat. Endorphins make you feel happy. Burning calories allows you to eat more and not put on as much weight. Being fit overall makes life a bit easier. Are we supposed to be active or something? Also, how do I have an emotional cry? I've been wanting to have one for the last few months. Your body can, in a way, evolve during your life to fit your needs. Say you are a New York City cab driver with a normal brain. You start when you are young and are very dependent on a map or directions from the passengers. As you continue to do this for years, your brain adapts to handle its new job. Areas of your brain in charge of spatial awareness and memory of roads starts to grow, building a map in your brain. MRIs have shown a significant increase. It's not just your brain though. There is a village somewhere in the Mediterranean, I believe, where they adapt to living in water. Their homes are built on stilts in the water and they are strictly pescatarian by necessity. Their eyes develop thicker outer layers for seeing underwater for long durations as well as a huge lung capacity. Humans are amazing. The cornea is the only part of the body without blood flow. It gets oxygen directly from the air. Also, in an adult 25% of your bones are in your feet. Humans are the only animals with a chin. You don't have kneecaps until you are 2 to 6 years old. The egg that you were created from existed before your mother was born. Straight hair comes out of a round follicle, and curly hair comes out of an oval shaped follicle. You can see your nose all the time. Your brain just chooses to ignore it. Some Asian people, Southeast like Japanese or Korean, do not emit body odor from their armpits and do not need deodorant. These same people do not have sticky earwax. How can you tell if you're a non-stinky armpit Asian? If you have gooey sticky earwax, keep using deodorant. If your earwax is dry and crumbly, stop using deodorant for a week and have a trusted friend or partner give you a sniff test after moderate exercise, or at the end of the day you probably are wasting money on deodorant. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Like and comment down below if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more of Reddit's finest comments. Be sure to click the bell for notifications whenever a new video is uploaded, and check out these videos if you're interested.